everybody? Welcome to Boss Rush Podcast. I'm your host, Eddie V, back in the building, of course, with everybody. So good to see you guys. I know I've been gone for 2 weeks, but once again, I'm going to thank you, Corey, for hosting. Thank you for all the guests that came on, Luke and Zombie Killer. Guys, I recommend you go check out their content. Go check out those episodes if you missed. Great discussions. They do so much work, and I really want to just get that out that you guys, go support them. But we do have a special guest. But before we get to our special guest, of course, joining me is the Wise Special Cast tonight, Mr. Jesse Douglas.
How's it going, everyone?
And of course, Bossman himself. Salute, Mr. Corey Derrick.
I'm here. Hello. Welcome.
Go
ahead.
Am
I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Salute?
Yeah, sure. I don't know how the salute started. I'm not in the military. I've never been in the military. I just show up, man.
It's a respect thing. I'm sorry.
I know. Ed and I have been doing podcasts for a long time. So
5+ years. Go. But before we get to our special guest, everybody, please get your tea and biscuits. Get ready for a great show. It's about to be a good bloody time. Sorry, I had to do that. Everybody, please welcome MC Fixer to Boss Rush Podcast.
Hello. Thank you very much for having me. I don't have any tea or biscuits though. I am sorry. I've got a Lucozade. That's about it. I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm behind on the tea and biscuits.
I mean, I'm sure he's heard much worse. Like, when he's interviewed Greg Miller a couple times and done his fake fake accents and stuff.
It's awful. I've got to be honest with you. I tell him every time. I'm like, dude, can we no, we can't. Okay, yeah, all right. You're Greg Miller. I'll let you do what you want to do at the end of the
day. Too
late. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on. Ray Apollo will be. Hopefully, he can make it to this episode. So if not, we dearly miss him, and hopefully he will be on next episode. But
he's just getting his hair cut because he's big important Twitch guy now, so he's gotta look good all the time.
Gotta look dapper.
I'd get my hair done, but I don't have enough hair to cut, so that's why the hat stays on my head.
That's me usually. I'm usually, if I haven't had a haircut, that means I have a hat on. Simple.
Yeah.
That's then you know if I've had a haircut or not when I've got a hat on.
I mean, we've been doing this so long. I don't even think our community has ever seen me without my hat on.
Oh damn, you're one of those guys.
It's just become the how everybody just has the look now. Like when I think of you, Fix, I think of you as like the hat and the glasses and that's your look, man. And
no. Like I said, I've always got hats behind me.
Yeah.
So don't make. Does this better? Is this better for you? We good now?
It's a little less throwing me off,
Sorry, is that better? We good? We good now?
He returned. He's here.
I'm back. I'm here. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Who was that guy before?
Who's the other British guy you had on this podcast? What a loser! Jesus, I bet he was for Brexit. I guarantee it. You can't trust him.
I had to sip my tea.
Wow, Ed's really getting into this.
Yeah.
He's got a sweater vest on.
Did you dress up for me? Was that just for me?
Yes, I did dress up for you. Plus, after the interview, I got to go to work after the show. But before we go on, MC Fixer, can you discuss us to tell everybody about MX, My Xbox and Me, some of your goals, your new site, and before you get really all into that, how did you get into gaming? What's some of your background, your history about gaming?
Yeah. So obviously I've been gaming since probably about I was writing. At the moment I'm writing some music. So I used to be a rapper and I was doing that full time for a while. And obviously we got the kind of funny up and comer thing coming up. So I'm working on some stuff. I'm not saying nothing more, but you got the sneak peek there, all right?
Yes, congratulations.
I'm working on some stuff.
Yeah, congratulations on the Patreon. You guys did it. Yeah.
Grinding it out. But yeah, I've been gaming since about 5. First console I ever had was a Sega Mega Drive. I was a Sega kid. That was me. Sonic, obviously, Streets of Rage, Shinobi. Like, I go back that far. I've been gaming ever since, man. My dad actually owns a little mum and grop shop. And I've worked there from like the age of 0. Like literally just lived in there and just been around games my whole life.
And for the listeners, the Mega Drive is the Sega Genesis.
Sega Genesis, yes.
Like you, most of our audience is American. So a lot of people don't know that the Mega Drive and the Genesis are the.
I messed that up, and I messed up the SNES. It's like that and the SNES. I'm like, God damn it!
You guys had Mega Play. I think that was the magazine, wasn't it?
Oh, dude, my mom is way too poor for me to afford magazines. Are you crazy?
Oh wow!
I used to beg my mom for gaming magazines, and she's like, "Shut the hell up! I need to buy food out here, boy. Like you ain't got no chance."
Yeah, I remember Mega Play, and I'm just like, wasn't that a European magazine? Because for us we had Sega Master System and the Sega Genesis, and then I found out you guys had the Japanese name, which was the Mega Drive.
Oh yeah, no, that was no. My mom was not letting me have that. She was hitting me over the head with a slipper before she'd buy me that magazine. Let me tell you.
So you do live in America.
No, I'm black still. I'm half black. Remember?
That's true.
The culture don't change that far, bro. Just because I'm British.
You said it. I was trying to hit to it, but
he was alluding to it. Let me just go full in, bro. I got you. But yeah, no, so yeah, I started with a Mega Drive, moved on to N64, GameCube, all of it, PlayStation 1, and I fell in love I really fell in love with the 360. It was probably like my most influential console, I would say, because that's when I started creating content, and it was my first ever online system. I was so late to the internet. Like a lot of people have like early memories of the internet, dial up and things like that. Again, no joke, my mum's broke, like love her dearly, but we weren't having dial up. Like I remember going to my uncle's and hearing that noise for the first time and being like, what the hell is that? Like I'm like, what is that? Like, so yeah, I remember getting the internet and plugging in my 360 and playing. What did I play? Pro Evolution Soccer 6 and Ghost Recon, the first ever Ghost Recon on the 360. If you remember that, what's it called?
Advanced Warfighter. Yeah,
Advanced Warfare. That was the one. I remember playing. And I was like, oh my god, I had to sit downstairs.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was crazy, right? So I remember playing that and just being like, wow, this is crazy. Like this is nuts. Like the first game that really got me into gaming was Resident Evil 2. I've spoken about it so much on my podcast, plenty, but like that game changed my life. It made me realize that games were so much more than just games. There was emotion, there was feeling, there was characters, there was all of it. And again, people that know me know my story. Dyslexic, not a strong reader, but once I started learning, had to get stories from other things other than books, I was like, okay, here we go. This is going to be the medium that I love. Some people got into comics again. I was like, I will look at the pictures. They look cool. And again, my mom won't buy me no comics. Are you crazy? That was not happening. So I was just like, all right, well, here we go. Let's go along for this journey. I've just been playing games ever since. My Xbox and Me though, my Xbox and Me is my Xbox company now. It's weird. I used to just call it an Xbox podcast, but now we just launched www.myxboxandme.com, which is just the home for Xbox content. Yeah, it's a good looking site. Oh, thank you. I cannot take any credit for that. That was all Nelson. Shout out to him. Chris Nelson killed it on that one. I've got a great team behind me at the moment. It's something I've been building for a really long time. Honestly, it's so it's like me, Crash, who obviously does the podcast. We got Amy Alexander. We've got Zyger with us now. We got the nanobiologist, who kind of funny fans would know. We got C. Nelson. Who am I missing? Super Killer Bunny. I feel like I'm missing one. Nelson, I said. I'm missing somebody, but they suck. Don't worry about them. They can't be that important. But yeah, like for me, I've been trying to launch this website for about 3 years, like literally. But the problem was that every time, if you've listened to My Xbox and Me before, which is the Xbox podcast I do, and I've been doing for 5 years now, it was every time I got a host, they would leave and move on to bigger and better things. I keep saying. I don't know if any of you watch wrestling. Anyone that wrestling? Anyone?
I do. I watch the pay-per-views with my friends, but
the reference is the worker. The worker is the person who makes everybody else look good, and then they go on to be like WWE champion. So I keep saying to everyone, it's like, I'm a great worker. That is what I am. Clear. I can make people look good. I can get them to do other shows. I can get them to go and be big everywhere else, but I just seem to be stuck in my lane. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not miserable about. I've been very, very, very fortunate. Have a great community that we've built, but you know, it's hard. But yeah, I've been doing it for about 5 years now. I've been full time, on and off for about 2 years. It's, you know what it's like. We all know some months are really, really good, and you can live off this, especially with Patreon and Twitch and ad revenue and sponsored content. And then some months you're literally earning £0, 0p, and it's like, or dollars, sorry. And then you're like, well, what the hell? I'm very, very, very fortunate that I have a great support system. I've got a great fiance that supports me, cares about me, believes in what I'm doing, believes in what we've built, and we just sort of go from there day by day, really.
Well, and it's cool that you guys get to do stuff together as well. You know, like that helps a lot that she's, you know, into gaming and stuff as well. And
into gaming.
Yeah.
It's that I think I've learned this lately, which is I didn't realize how many women, I'm not saying all women, I'm not generalizing, but how many women are so against their partners playing video games. It's something new to me because I've never had that. I've been with I've been with my fiance since I was 18, she was 17. I believe 10 years. Oh. So for us, this is just life. Yeah. There's nothing different for us. Where other people, like, I talk to some of my friends, are like, yeah, she won't let me play FIFA, and I'm like, what do you mean she won't let you? And she's like, yeah, she said she'll throw the PlayStation out the window. My one mate, she threw the PlayStation out the window, and I was just like, what? Like, it's like, no, like, you can't be doing that. So for me, but what I find with most people that I've spoke to is they don't include their partners. Into people that don't like video games, they don't include them. The first thing I did was teach my fiance how to play Left 4 Dead. Simple game. We run around, we shoot things. Perfect. Then I teach their FIFA. And if you can learn FIFA, we're good. So now you know how to play a sports game and you know how to play a shooter. We can go from there. And then you just sort of teach and teach and teach, and then they learn to love games just as much as you do. You explain it. People are just like, yeah, no, you just go away, don't worry. I'm like, no, teach, bring them in, include. That's where it's at. That's what matters. So.
I would love to see you teach someone how to play Mario Maker 2, and just like both of y'all design the levels, be like, how in the world do we with this?
we were talking about playing what was it? I think it was Super Meat Boy. So I was just like, oh, I can't do it. I was like, I will. We played Overcooked together once, and we finished the first game. We finished the first game, and honestly, it was. It was hard. It was hard.
Can I tell you that game is Fallout fun? Like laughing. All you literally do is just laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Nintendo, they had here in Chicago, they had where people could come in to try new games, and I was able to play like Ultimate Alliance 3 before it came out, but they had Overcooked 2 there, and so me and 3 random people played it, and we tried to like get the pan, get the shrimp, cook it, move it, and we literally fell out laughing. I literally was just like, I need to buy this game. It's ball out funny, and I think. I like that when you play with a partner or with somebody. Like, it makes gaming fun for everyone.
Honestly, there's nothing bad in playing co-op games. Simple. There's nothing better.
I wanna one of these days. I still gotta pick it up. I only downloaded the demo. I never did really try it, but the Dark Pictures. I want to get the Dark Pictures game because I know my wife. My wife would love playing that because
the Man of Medan.
We both.
Yeah,
the Man of Medan.
Because when you get it, Jesse, let me know and I'll pick it up too.
Okay, yeah, because me and my wife, one of the things that we, like instantly connected on when we first started dating is we both love horror movies and. Like me and you, Fix, are very similar. As I started listening to your show, and you like learn more about you, I'm like, man, like me and him are very similar. Like me and you both like Resident Evil. The new Resident Evil 2 remake is now my favorite game of all time.
But we both agree that Crush is an idiot, right? We both agree that Crush is definitely an idiot. Good to know. Good to
know. These two convinced me to get Resident Evil 2 because like I don't do horror games, and they're like, you should do it because we do this thing every year called the Backlog Challenge where we try to play games. And like Resident Evil 2 is Resident Evil as a series, besides the first one, are like big like just empty spots in my gaming history, and it's because I don't really do horror games. And they're like, you should get it. It's $17 on sale. I'm like,
it's
okay.
And then after that, you got to do Dead Space, because seriously, people are missing out who have not experienced Dead Space.
I have Dead Space, but I haven't like.
Really oh my god, it's such an amazing game.
They've all been free on Xbox. They've all been free at some point.
See, I played the first one, and I think the problem with me is I'm very much the person, when someone comes at you and goes, oh my god, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
I am the person that goes, I'm not touching that for another year now. Like, because I can't go in with that level of expectation.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do it.
But you know what? Like the game Inside, it got Game of the Year for a lot of people. I played it and did not care one bit about the game. I was just like, this is it's okay.
It's not for you. I've had the same thing. Final Fantasy games, big RPG games. For me, I've learned this over time, where I used to force myself and like, what's wrong with me? I'm like, of course I'm not gonna like Final Fantasy VII. You know how much reading's in that goddamn game?
Yep.
I can't read. That's
another place where me and you are very similar. I'm not into the reading game, like in games. I just can't get into it. I can't do it.
With me on collectibles that don't have VO, you would pay the extra $2 if they did it.
Yeah,
I think that I said $2. I lowballed you there. I'll be honest with you. I'd pay 10. I'd pay the $10 tax for it. I would. I really would.
There were so many. There were so many in Gears 5 when we were playing co-op, and like I was just like, I'm not gonna read this right now. We're streaming it. We're having a good time. I can't be sitting here like. I guess I could do a dramatic reading of for the audience, but like I'm like, no, we're just gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep shooting stuff.
So Mixer, not Mixer, Fixer. I'm sorry.
We're good. We're good.
I've
had worse. I've had Mick Fister. I've had a lot worse. Trust me. I'll take Mixer at this point. I'll be honest.
So I do a podcast called Optional Opinion, and this week that's coming up, one of the title is why do people prefer voiceover over text? And so I'm going to go over the history of localization and why voiceovers and stuff, and like kind of deep dive into that. And what I find interesting is that people won't play a game because it doesn't have voice, and it's just like, I can understand, if you have a problem with reading, okay, that kind of game is not for you. But if you can read, it's good for you to read what they're saying. It
depends. It's one of those things again, though, isn't it? It comes down to it depends on what you want. For me, obviously, I know I have a learning disability, so I'm a little bit of a different example. But some people play games for escapism, and some people play games to switch off their brains by reading a ball of text all of the time to get the story. They can't switch off.
And one of the arguments I'm probably going to be bringing up is that it's about narrative. Sometimes you have to read to get a narrative about a game. But some people feel like if it's voiceover, that has the best narrative they have ever endured. But it's just like, well, there's other games that's been out. But because you are a person who don't read or don't want to read something, you're missing the narrative of that game.
Yeah, so that's the perfect thing about video games, right?
Yes.
Is the fact that we all get to choose the games that we love to play.
Yes.
And you're going to get the experience that you want from... Again, I played Resident Evil 2 without reading a single thing. For the first 15 years, I played it. And then I played it again with my fiance once we got together, and she read every single... I'm like, oh my God, this is a whole different game. Like, I get to have that experience. We all get something different out of video games, and that's what makes them magical for each of us.
And that's why I'm deep diving into that topic. It's funny that you brought that up. I'm just like, that is the next episode coming, and research and deep diving on that.
And then you've got amazing games like Rhyme, where there is there's nothing. The music is what brings forth the emotions and stuff like that, which are some of my favorite games personally, because that's because of my love of music and stuff. So like that plays a big part in that. But But yeah, like we need more games like that.
Yeah, man, definitely. I mean, I love, and the problem as I've started to do this longer now, like I say, as I've been in it longer, and as you start building up a portfolio and stuff, you start reaching out for codes and you start getting bigger games. And the problem with that is you then start falling behind on the millions of indie codes that come through. Because I get sent so many indie codes, like it's ridiculous. But when Ubisoft dropped me the new Assassin's Creed, I'm going to put that thing in instantaneously. And that's the one thing that I've struggled with, which is great why we have my Xbox and me now. And it's bigger than me now. This is what I've been saying for such a long time, which is my Xbox and me was never created to be MC Fixer. My Xbox and me #1 was created to be the kind of funny alternative to PS I Love You. That is why my Xbox and me exists. So them starting a podcast, an Xbox podcast, really doesn't help me much. But we'll let it go. Right? We're gonna let it go. But yeah, it's all jokes aside, I'm very happy for them. I can't wait to come and take over that show one day.
Yeah. You're letting them warm the seat for you.
That's Gary Whitta. You think Gary Whitta's going to last? No way. He's got a Star Wars to write very soon. I'll be in. Don't worry. I'll fly over every week. As long as they pay. I'm fine.
That's why that's why we started Nintendo Pal Black.
They don't have a Nintendo podcast.
Yeah,
but that's the. I don't know where you guys want to go with this conversation. I can totally hijack it. So
I mean, to be fair,
tell me to shut up when you want me to.
I mean, this is the show. This is why we cut news out completely, because we never stay on topic and we just keep going. You know, like this is just.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, before we go on, we do got some housekeeping.
Do it.
Oh yeah, 3 minutes into the show.
Yeah, you're good. Do your housekeeping quick.
Yeah, so follow us on Twitter at boss_rush_games and on Facebook and Instagram at Boss Rush Games. Join our Discord, Xbox console community, and our Destiny clan. Also, live shows have returned. Join us live on Mixer and Twitch at Boss Rush Games Live. All one word to chat with us live on air. You can also find all of our content in bossrushgames.com. Pod and Play Revamp, our seasonal Let's Play show, is officially underway. You can go to bossrushgames.com Saturdays from February 1st to April 4th this season, featuring games like Devil May Cry 5, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Spec Ops: The Line, Monster Hunter World, and more. Tweet at us what games you want to see in the upcoming seasons. Lastly, Arsenal X.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Wrong. Sorry.
It's officially returning live on February 2nd and on podcast services Wednesdays. Join us on Sunday night, Arsenal, for the pre-show, the live podcast recording, and some multiplayer Xbox fun on Mixer and Twitch. So as we go more into the show, we got some games that we're gonna get down to. So I'm gonna go to you, MC Fixer. What has your gaming get down been like?
What is a gaming get down first of all? Which is what I've been playing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
cool.
That's Ed's code name for this segment is our gaming get down.
Look, the notes are there. Again, I didn't read them. It was like, I'm just gonna go. We'll be fine. Don't worry. All right, everyone chill out. I've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
All I've been playing at the moment is Fortnite. Honestly, I've been talking about it. That's literally it. There's nothing has come through my. I did start. I'm embargoed, so I can't. I'll tell you. I can tell you I've been playing it, but I can't tell you what is in the game and stuff. I've been playing Zombie Army 4. If you've heard of that.
Okay.
Yes, they showed that at E3 last year.
Yes, yeah, I believe so. But that's all I can tell you. So, have that. Other than that, yeah, Fortnite. Honestly, I've got the battle pass the first time ever. I put money into Fortnite for the first time in. How long's that game been out now? Jesus, feels like forever.
2 years, maybe?
2 years?
Yeah, a long time. And I just this time I was like, do you know what? I'm getting better at building. I'm finally killing some people. There's bots. I love the bots now. I'm like, yo, you make me feel very good about myself. I love this. I'm getting some wins here and there. And yeah, I've been having a great time with it, honestly. I've been practicing speedrunning Resident Evil 2, which is kind of my game that I play off stream now. Sometimes I bring it on stream, but most of my gaming time is spent on stream now. So it's usually popular games on Twitch, which is it's really hard. It's really, really hard to keep up with the trends and things like that. But yeah, Fortnite is just sort of taking over my life. But yeah, I've got my the beginning half of Resident Evil 2, the speed run. I'm trying to crack like an hour. I've already beaten 58 minutes. I've beat the whole game once.
Nice.
But I think it's 58. It might be a little bit more. But yeah, it's just like I want to go for it. properly. No infinite ammo, no cheat. Like I know I can do it. I feel it. But yeah, that's literally all I've been playing. I'm pretty boring at the moment, unfortunately.
Yes.
What about you? What are you playing?
Well, I was going to head over to Jesse because we have been talking about one particular game that he's been playing, and this. I'm so happy because I posted this. This certain game is wacky, and I respect it. So, Jesse, what game have you been getting down to?
All right, so as everyone knows, that's listened for a while. I have, like, back in the day, I used to love playing fighting games. I just don't really get into them much anymore because I just. Like that's something you got to keep up on, or otherwise you just suck and it's not really fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like, I just Tekken 7 was on Game Pass, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just like I just spontaneously in the morning I said, you know what? I'm gonna play the story mode.
Yeah.
I didn't really know a whole lot about the story of Tekken, but I had known that it was pretty weird and like very anime and stuff like that, and so I started playing that, and anyone that doesn't know, there's the like one main older guy, it's like Itachi, or I forget Hihachi. What his name is. Yeah, Hihachi or whatever. He's like the older guy, and he fights with his wife, and like she had this devil curse or devil gene, and so he kills her because he doesn't want anyone who has this gene or whatever, he doesn't want to be alive because he basically wants to be like the most powerful or whatever. So he kills his own wife, and then so like that's kind of like the beginning stuff, So I'm playing 7, and all of a sudden you get to this part of where he's talking to his 5-year-old son about, telling him what he did, that he killed his mom and this and that. And so then all of a sudden you're playing as the little 5-year-old kid, and you're punching him, and then he kicks you and takes like half of your life away. And then you start punching him again, and then he kicks you. And the head knocks you out, and then next thing you know, you're having to push buttons to drop him off of a cliff.
Oh, damn!
He picks the lifeless 5-year-old body up, throws it off of a cliff, and says, either he'll die and he was okay, or he'll survive, and that means that he has the devil gene. Yeah. Well, that he has the devil gene, and so I'm just like, I was just like, what the F?
Yeah, man.
I was just completely like, holy crap! I'm like, this is worse. Like I like up there with those things that they've done in Call of Duty that have been controversial.
So Jesse tells me that yesterday night I was just like, let me go on YouTube and see these endings, and I started watching the Tekken 7 endings, and I was just like, this is all kinds of Three Stooges wackiness. Yeah. And one of the characters, the girl that she beating up, she ends up saying that she wants to learn her fighting style. So she buys her dad's dojo in her house. And while she's talking, she's dancing, doing ballet, and telling her that, I bought everything, and right now all the movers are putting your stuff out into the garbage and moving my stuff in. And she's just like,
seems legit.
Like,
and the one dude's in love with a robot, an android, and you have the Akuma just shows up, and apparently he was friends with dude's wife that he killed, and so Akuma shows up to fight him to get revenge. And like I kind of liked that because I've always been a really big Akuma fan, so anytime Akuma's in something, I'm like, oh yeah, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, like that whole story, and obviously his son survives because he's like the main character. Awesome. And then it all starts to go crazy, and next thing you know, they're both fighting each other with you know, they've, you know, got this immense, you know, amounts of power, and it's just a power struggle between all of them, and yeah, it's you know, like what I've learned so far, it's an interesting story. So like I'm almost tempted to go and play some of the other ones and go through the story, even though they're not, it's, you know, fighting games aren't really for me. That was like just enough to do the story stuff, and they, you know, 7, they did it in a cool way. Like I like how they had all different kinds of like the army like type guys would come in, so you'd have to like beat like 5 of them in a row, and that would be the same as going against one, you know, main character and things like that. And they kind of like, you know, and honestly, like a lot of the story stuff and like just the way everything works, like being a big Naruto fan, like it kind of reminded me a lot of that. Like if you're familiar with Naruto, there, you know, they had the curse mark thing, it was called, or whatever. And so like people, if they got that curse mark, they could mutate into these like really powerful creatures. And that's kind of what this whole devil gene thing reminds me of that show. So I think that might be partially why it was pretty interesting, is just like in the animation and everything of the game, like the cutscenes and all that, the animations and
they're really good.
All that stuff is really good.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you like anime type stuff and like that kind of action stuff like that. Honestly, like there's a video you can go and watch where like people break down the entire storyline and stuff and kind of show everything, and there's a lot of cool things out there. So I've mostly been playing that, and then I did finish Control. I don't remember if I said that last week, but I did finish Control and really enjoyed that. You know, we were speaking earlier about games that have a lot of reading, and how I don't like it. Like I didn't read the stuff while I played the game. I wanted to finish the game, but I do plan on going back and reading like all the stuff that I found, because like there's a lot of really, really interesting like lore and stuff in that game.
Kind of like the Metroid Prime. Yeah. Kind of like the Metroid Prime thing. If you want to seek the more of the story out, you could go out and seek it. But if you don't really want it, it's not, you don't have to.
Yeah, and because that world is just so super interesting to me, it's just like right up my alley, because I just love sci-fi and all that stuff. So I definitely do want to go back and read that stuff. And being, you know, I've been a fan of their game, like all their games since Alan Wake. So it, you know, like for me, like I just loved all the tie-ins and things they did, you know, and so yeah.
I can't wait to get back into it. I'm trying to finish a certain game, and then Control is on the list to get into.
And the last thing is, I believe it or not, I've been playing Anthem.
What?
I only like, I didn't get very far into the story at all.
And so, I beat it. I beat it after it came out, like 2 weeks after it came out. I beat the whole game of Anthem.
You're like the one person that wasn't even excited for Anthem, and you're the only one of us that beat it.
Yeah. Even though me and Corey...
I remember me and Chris played that game to death. Like, there was literally nothing less for us to do. Like, we were grinding. We got to... what's their gear score called? Master level, isn't it? Sound like that?
I think so, yeah.
Like we got to like their master level 3, I think it is, and we're just like, this pointless because the loot drops were broken. Yeah. So there was no reason to play it on the high. It was like, this is ridiculous. I'm done. I can't do it.
Yeah, like I've definitely noticed a difference in a lot of that, even just in the beginning, the initial stages of it. Like, because I feel like I almost never was getting weapons that were, you know, anything other than the uncommon. Yeah. And it was like they were never like a level higher, so I could, you know, level up my character more. And now I've been getting like blues and, you know, actually being able to level my character up quite a bit faster. And like I'm enjoying it for the most part. I'm to the point now where I've got to do the free play stuff where you've got to find all you have to do all the things and then you can continue the storyline or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at right now. But I enjoyed it initially, but it was like me and Corey actually started a podcast for it, and we had done 7 episodes before the game even came out.
Yeah, we were like, we're going to get ahead of this because Anthem, if it blows up, we're going to try
It's going to be big.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be the ones.
Yes.
You're going to be the guys.
Yeah.
You're going to have the
It was a cool name. It was like the best logo, I think, besides our Arsenal X logo at the time. Like Javelins for Hire was a cool name, I thought. And we had it going, and then I was just like, dude, this game.
We were breaking down the lore, and
yeah,
I got the 3 comics that they came out with actually.
Yeah, we did a comic review on the show, and it was.
And I still say I like the wording, how Anthem looks, and I like the box art of Anthem. I enjoyed the fly and the shooting. I thought that was really good.
I agree with you 100%. I thought the overall shell of Anthem is fine. It's gameplay, it's flying, it's the ability systems, all of that I had no problem with. It was, we were promised a story which was pretty non-existent. We were promised an ongoing story that never happened. We were promised more. Do you know what I mean? We come to expect more. And when you don't get that, you're like, oh, this is not good.
We call it the watchdog effect.
Dude, you don't. If you've ever listened to my podcast, you know how I feel about Watchdog. Me and Watchdog, we don't play around. I remember this day like it was yesterday. I sent my fiance off to the game shop to get me Watchdog. They sold her on the special edition, so it cost me an extra £20. Number one, that's where the problems lie. Number one, stupid game shop selling a poor woman who doesn't know which version to get. God damn it. Number 2, I get said game, put it in the Xbox, start to play it, it's trash. Not happy. Not happy.
You got
me deep there. Watchdog. No.
Did you find it funny that the Wii U version got delayed and Mario Kart 8 just surpassed it? On top of, you got a free game with Mario Kart 8 the day you bought it.
I didn't even know that happened. I'm so in that Xbox world, you don't even know. Dude, literally. If it ain't Xbox, I don't listen.
If you had troubles with Watch Dogs on Xbox One, I
bought PS4 version?
No, I bought it on Wii U because we were doing...
What's wrong with you?
We were doing Power Block at the time. We were doing Nintendo Power Block, and I was like, well, all these third-party games I need to get on Wii U so we can talk about them on the show, right? And... that was a bad decision. That was bad. Dude, I mean, I'm
noticing a little pattern with you lot. You chase the trends. You chase what's popping. Like the Wii U, this is going to be a big thing, guys. Trust me. I'm on it.
They love
Nintendo
regardless.
This is the thing. I'm a super big Nintendo fan. I love Xbox.
He'll change any conversation into how Nintendo is better.
Yeah, that's yeah. Look, for Power Block, Ed's like the dreamer, and like this is why Nintendo rules the world, and I'm just kind of like the grounded one on the show. I'm just kind of like, Ed, come on now.
But the thing about it is, I have all consoles. I get most of the games that everybody plays, and at the time what Watch Dogs was showing at E3, what they were promising, what everybody got when that game came out, because that was supposed to be a really super big game. The idea and the concept was supposed to be a super big deal. It wasn't what was promised or delivered, but because they didn't really show gameplay or anything, Ubisoft didn't. You didn't really know what you was expecting. When Mario Kart 8 came out, of course, people knew the Mario Kart franchise, but to actually have a deal where that if you bought Mario Kart 8, you got a digital version of, I think, Super Mario Brothers Wii U, Pikmin, it's like 2 other games. So you got a $60 deal, you got a $120 deal for $60. And it just seemed that all the problems with Watch Dogs, it made it sales within 2 or 3 weeks, and Mario Kart 8 just kept selling month after month after month.
Mario Kart 8 still sells month after month, so let's be honest with you.
Good point. And so everybody was just knocking Wii U about about some of their games, and it was just like this kind of backfire on Ubisoft because I think people would have bought Watch Dogs along with Mario Kart 8 on Wii U.
And yeah, no, you're totally talking shit. I'm sorry, I don't know if I can swear on this podcast or not. I mean, you can edit it, but let me tell you now, no one cares about third-party games on Nintendo systems.
And this is the thing we had the discussion about.
No, I think we agree with you for the most part. Right?
I thought me and Ed were gonna have a war there.
No, I mean, you might have a war with Ed, but we.
But the thing about it is that I feel with third party they didn't give the Wii U version the fair version. They always gave it to the B team. What I'm saying is that when it was developing it, they weren't putting everything in that PlayStation.
Why would you when it has a low install base?
Because you would think that you would still, if you're hearing people crying out that they would love to play these games on Wii U, and what I'm saying is Switch has kind of provided that answer. If you put this on Switch, look how many people will want it, and people got it.
Put an indie game on Switch,
third party,
people will buy it.
Third party.
I'm the same. I agree with you. I agree with you to a degree. But then look at NBA. Look at WWE. Look at all of these other games that run poorly everywhere, by the way. But they run extremely poorly on the Switch.
WWE run poorly. What?
Yeah, to be fair, I did download Madden on Xbox because it's on EA Access now.
Yeah.
And I downloaded it last night. Boy, man, that thing chugs a little bit. And
what have you got?
I'm playing on an X, yeah.
Okay, I've never had any. I've had any
also, the online is just still bad. Like it just feels like when you're playing a regular game, it feels fine, but when you're playing online, it just feels like you're trying to guess. Like it's like super delayed and everything. It's the same problem I had with it last year and the year before. It's just like, man, this is why I stopped buying Madden, because like I like to play online. I used to play Madden online like religiously back on 360, and man, I got into 16 a little bit online, and I was just like, I just feel like this is super slow and delayed. And then I skipped it a couple years, and then I got EA Access, and I got Madden 19, and then I was like, okay, well, this kind of runs like crap. I don't know if I want to play it on 20. And then I was like, well, I already have EA Access. I might as well just download it and try it out. Play online.
10 hours.
Yeah. And just like, man, it's just like this online, that it just feels slow and less responsive than you want it to feel. And it's, just Madden Online. Also, and I know the big joke, everybody. Yes, I do play as the Browns. Okay. It's not the problem.
Well, that's probably part of your problem.
Part of the problem, not the entire problem.
Yeah, good point. You're right.
I mean, since
you got Odell though, you're doing all right. Odell, yeah. Odell.
Yeah. I mean, sure. Yeah. I think I want to get rid of him and get some offensive.
I'm English, remember? I only know the popular players.
No, I know.
You hear it? We hear the name Beckham. We're like, what? David? He's playing American football.
Yeah.
We're like, oh no, wrong one. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Wrong guy. My bad.
Yeah, he's that's a separate show.
Well, before we go on, Corey, what have you been getting out to? Was that all, Jesse? I'm sorry.
Well, yeah. The only thing I just wanted to make a comment really quick is with the whole Madden Online thing. It's the same issue that you see on Call of Duty. It's the same issue you see on a lot of online games that don't want to spend the money to get actual dedicated servers. Get out of here with this stupid hybrid bullshit, because all that means is, in the big cities they can use dedicated servers, but everywhere else you have to be host. And
see, you know what? It's funny. I must have such a warped reality because of where I am. I've got fiber optic internet. I'm good. I'm like, and it's something that I should become more mindful of. Actually, the fact that you're saying that, Jesse, is the fact of I don't think about it. My internet works. I don't have to. My internet's always working until the provider starts messing around, but we give them a slap around here and there, and I'm like, give me my money back for this month, and we're good. But no, I don't take. I'm in London, so and I've already said, me and my fiance are currently saving for a house, and I said, I don't care where we live, as long as it's got fast internet, I'll do whatever you want. You can take me to the sticks. As long as we got a fiber optic in there, I'm down.
Yeah.
And I forget. Like, I was about to say, Call of Duty works fine. Madden works fine for me. Call of Duty works fine. Madden works fine. All these big games, they work fine for me. So, but for you, maybe you're like, no, I can't. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, yeah, and there's a lot of places and around here. I'm in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Above us is Upper Michigan. It's a peninsula or whatever. And my brother-in-law, they don't even get the fastest internet they get is like basically about the same speed that would have been like, way back like when dial-up went to the LAN stuff. Like they can't even watch YouTube.
What?
It's not powerful enough to watch YouTube.
How'd they watch porn?
They don't.
Ah.
You got to do that on your phone.
Big up right
Damn, that's all power of the mind again. My bad, guys.
Yeah, so like
magazine
that's the
still
thing
exists
is
up
there's
there,
a.
right?
Oh, okay. So is that what they do? Okay, got it. That makes sense. They still got the pages.
Exactly.
I got you.
Yeah.
Pages are still sticky.
They're keeping Playboy alive.
Wow.
But yeah, so that's the thing is there's so many places, even in a country like America where you can't even get.
The same here. I'm not gonna. Yeah. There are areas in England.
Yeah, there are areas
faster than that. But do you know what I say to them? Move to London. That's your problem. You know what I mean? What a scrub. You got bad internet? That's your... No, I'm joking. It's just that thing of when you're in it, I suppose, you just don't think about it.
Yeah. Well, that's... And, and you're gonna... when you're in a bigger area, you're also gonna most likely be queued up with other people who, have better internet and all that. Whereas when you're someone like me who's playing... Like, don't get me wrong, like my internet isn't the worst. It's good, but if it's reaching further than where I am and it's going to, like queuing me up with people that are like, have better internet than me and it's working on the hosting system.
Yeah.
Like, see, like I'll notice like in a game you'll have one person who's got 40 kills and everyone else is like negative, and it's like, okay, well we know who host is.
Yeah, I got you.
That's how it was.
My internet used to be so bad with Gears of War that people used to say I lag switch, but it was just how bad my internet was. That I used to run around the whole map and chainsaw everyone before everyone else loaded in. That's how bad my internet was. Used to love it.
Oh,
absolutely.
Well, Corey, what games you been getting down to?
Well, as I said on Nintendo Power Block last week, I have been working on the website, and it is now finished, except for our Friends of Show page, which I'll get to whenever I get to it. But everything else is done. Dude, I uploaded 340 videos to our YouTube channel and posted them on the website this week because we're bringing back Arsenal X. So I'm like, okay, well I'll try to transfer everything from our old YouTube channel to our new thing, so everything's in one place, everybody can just view it, whatever. I don't know if that was a good or a bad decision, but it's done. So I was I mean, it was. Yeah. Look, I mean, I'm glad everything's in one place now, and
now you've done all that, Corey. Do you want to just come work for my Xbox and me? I got some space, yeah.
Sure, guys. Ed, you guys got this right.
Ed's like, what?
Ed, you're gonna have to find a new co-host for Power Block. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I've jumped into a few games. I am on the second to last area in Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. I'm going for a 1K. Nice. I'm going for my 1K in that game. I've got 5 lore stones left, so we will. I'll probably finish it by the time this podcast posts on Tuesday. But
no spoilers. I've not started it.
Yeah, it's good, dude.
I've heard it's amazing. Hey, it's one of those games that I look at and I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm coming.
All the lore stones, by the way, no text. They read it to you. They just and you can walk away from the lore stones.
Now that I'm the only one in this podcast who's finished that game.
And this is the bad thing. I own it for 2 systems and about to buy it for Switch.
Why? Why would you bother,
Ed? Because
Ed buys every time it's available on every system. He buys it.
I love Ninja Theory. So I brought it on PlayStation because it was on sale. And when it came to Xbox, they were doing the research for mental health. Yeah. Like if you bought the game, it would donate. Yeah. I was just like, of course, I have to. Like I was playing it on PlayStation, and when it came to Xbox One, I was just like, I have to donate. Like I have to help them. Like I love them. And then now because it's on Switch, I'm like, I need to buy this game because when I'm on the go, if I'm on a long trip, I could go in and play it there. I'm a big.
I'm such a sucker. I'm learning so much about it. He's such a sucker.
Corey and Jesse would tell you on how many games for consoles that you support, depending on sometimes the publisher or developer. I've owned physical and digital games on 2 different consoles, or even on 1 console. Like The Witcher 3 for PlayStation and Xbox, I own the digital and the physical for both of them.
Jesus, Ed, you rich? You sitting on oil
dedicated.
money?
You know what it is. Right? Ed doesn't have.
I'm gonna throw your money away. I'll take it.
Go to patreon.com/myex. I'm just kidding.
Yes. Plug.
So I'm almost done with that. I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy that I'm playing through it and almost done because it's I didn't expect this game to go. I mean, like I know what the game's about and everything, but like I didn't expect it to go where I'm at. I did not expect it to go where it's going, and it's a great game. I hope anybody who has Game Pass or just wants to buy the game, I think it's only $20 now. Just buy it, play through it. It's only a 7 to 8 hour experience. It's fantastic. I love Senua and I love Melina's acting in it. It's great. So I'm almost done with that. I did finish my Gears 5 review finally because my goal is to every game I finish this year, I'm going to write a review on it. I don't care how old the game is. It's just that's what's happening with it. So
sharpen that tool, bro. Sharpen that tool.
I think I need to play through that again, like solo, and have an actual good experience with it because Corey, I don't know if you know, but like me and him played the whole game through, but we played co-op, and it was one of the worst experiences I ever had. And so like my vision of that game was pretty jaded just because of all that crap that I had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had the same thing. It was me and the missus did it, and we played. That's one of the games we played together because she loves Gears, and we had exactly the same thing. The game was dropping out at certain parts, and obviously we all do this for a living. I do this for a living, so I'm trying to review this damn game, and I'm like, and then I had the ending spoiled for me. So
I never had the ending spoiled for me. Because we just we actually stopped playing until they patched the game. And then
that's what we tried.
We just finished it about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And, And I didn't have the ending spoiled for me. When it turns out we were literally about 3. We all finished it, right? Minor spoilers. We were at the Brumac right before the quote big choice you have to make. And that's where we were at, and I was like, oh
no, I didn't even know there was a big choice. I just got told the choice.
Yeah.
In my own Discord, and I was guys, are you kidding me? And like, what the hell? Like, I've been having problems.
But the coalition was hitting at something like that when it was speaking to think IGN or one of the magazines. They were just like, there's going to be a big change in the story of Gears, but no one knew what it actually was.
Well, it's a strange one though, because now they've got to create like 2 entirely different stories.
Yeah, it's almost like
the next game.
It's almost like
it's really interesting to see what they do with the next game. Honestly,
like I feel like Gears 5 should have been Gears 4 because it kind of feels like
you needed the first game to flesh out those characters.
But see, the problem with Gears 4 is that Gears 4 is set up to be about Kate. And then half of that game is just trying to get Marcus out, and then we'll get back to Kate's missions.
But I feel that's the point, isn't it? It's mixing the old with the new to bring in new characters in. So then you don't feel where the hell's Marcus, where the hell's Bird, where the hell's this person.
Dude, that first game was fine. I just feel like the only thing that I had a problem with Gears 4 was like it just kind of ended. Like it just kind of ended.
Oh no, I agree. There's definitely problems with the game. But I do think they did it the right way with the way they introduced the characters, because I wasn't invested in either of those characters in the first game.
Well, because Marcus because Marcus didn't really play a part in 4, and he doesn't really play a part in 5. So that's why I kind of felt like this is weird. I mean,
it's because they're focusing on the new characters, but to understand where JD comes from. That's why Marcus plays the part he does in Gears 4, and rebuilding that relationship,
like the new Star Wars movies, where it's it's you've got the old in there, but they're not really the focus anymore, and they're it's just kind of they're trying to slowly phase them out and start have a new, but it's
a weird thing. This is for me. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Corey.
But I just the Gears 5 review is finally out, and I'm really excited to write this Hellblade one. I think Hellblade is just a great game. So, but other than that, I mean, my nightly Tetris routine before I fall asleep on Switch.
99?
I haven't played Tetris 99 in a while. I got stuck where I was getting second place every time.
Oh, and then that must be the worst.
Dude, any battle royale game, I've never won. I've never gotten a victory in a battle royale game ever.
Oh, and then, Corey, come play games with me, bud. I'll carry you to victory easy.
All right. I'll have to do that.
Let's make that happen.
Yeah.
Why don't we sort it out that we do a co-op stream or something?
Okay.
When we're both live. And we'll play. We'll play Fortnite. We'll play PUBG.
I'll just start getting up early so I can stream with you before.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure out times. We'll make that a challenge, and I'll get me in the squad to carry you to at least one victory in each game.
I tried
international stream. I'm here for this.
I tried to hop in Jesse's backpack for a while, but Jesse's good, but he couldn't get me that victory. Jesse.
Oh,
because we would just play duos.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a bunch of wins, and I played mostly the Blackout, because that was my personal favorite.
Yeah.
And Apex is really good too. I haven't played it enough though, so I'm really not that good at it. But with Blackout,
because of exactly what you're saying, I found the same thing. I really loved Apex, but I don't play enough of it to be that good at it. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you don't have a full squad in Apex. You're like, I ain't got 3 people. God damn it!
Yeah.
Shit, I was just trying to find another person to play Ikaruga with me.
We're gonna be getting back to doing our show Royale with cheese, so. Which is a play on the play on words. I'm from Wisconsin, which is we're known for being big with cheese. You go to the stores here, and there's a whole section that's just local cheese from the state.
Okay.
so
like me some cheese, so maybe I'll come around one time.
We've got everything from cheese with blueberries in it.
Oh no, I'm not about that life. I'm plain Jane. I'm a plain Jane.
There are
just give me that
so many things.
Just give me that.
I love it with jalapenos or habaneros in it, all that kind of good stuff.
No.
Yeah,
I love spicy stuff. So.
Everybody go check Royale with cheese.
That's me.
Yes, there you go.
But other than that, I did play a little bit more of Tokyo Mirage Sessions, but not enough.
Yes.
Not enough really to talk about anything on here. It's just kind of, I'm trying to crack down on these games that I haven't finished that I should probably finish, like Hellblade and DMC5. And
you got 1 more month, Corey. You got 1 more month though, because then it starts hitting us heavy again. I know we got a lot of delays, but there's still a lot of games.
Dude, it doesn't matter. The delays are okay, great, these big games, but now they're all into the fall game mess, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. I'm just worried about, okay, what's next on my list that's coming out in February? What, Darksiders, I think? I'm probably playing that a little bit, and then there's something else big coming out in February that I forgot about already, but...
I know the Pokemon game for me, Mystery Dungeon. Rest for me. I say it's for me.
I know. I'm just saying, for me...
No thanks.
But
boo.
And then Doom's coming, and just Final Fantasy 7. It's just gonna be a
yes.
Oh, man, my Xenoblade 1's in the living room. I can't go get it. So
I love him now, everybody.
It's all right, guys. It's all right. I've got controllers. It's all good.
But
once again, JC, I'm still jealous of you about that controller, but I loved you because I want that controller.
What is it? The Elite one?
The Elite one,
the 2.
Yeah,
it's still once again sold out. Is that the customized one?
No, that's the Elite
one.
Scrub. You couldn't get Microsoft to just like send you one for review.
I tell you, no, I got somebody sent me this one actually. Someone supporting literally just they messaged my fiance and was like, I want to give Fixer something nice. What should I do? And she's like, I was thinking about getting a Elite controller, and boom, there it was, the Elite controller. Like,
that your reveal video of like when you got the One X was amazing.
Dude, that was
so awesome.
That's the funny thing. And for those who don't know, my community bought me a Xbox One X, the series, the Project Scorpio edition, and I had no clue, like literally no clue. And they communicated all through with my fiance and stuff, and it was just one of those moments that I didn't realize the camera was on, because what happened was my fiance was Adam was like, we should record us, we should vlog us doing Christmas, and I'm like, you don't like being on camera, like you'll do it for me, but like you don't want to be on camera, especially not intruding Christmas. And then she's just like, yeah, we should do this, set up the tripod, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like, I don't want to, I just want to be in my PJ, so I'm literally like in my pajamas, just like, and then she brings out the final present, and I look at it, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, and I open it and then I just start bursting out into tears.
Awesome. It was
it's a good
amazing.
video. Go check it out. It's on the My Xbox and Me channel.
Yeah. Your community is amazing.
Yeah. They're great.
They're great people. My mom busted out the Wii U for me for my birthday, and I literally just like, you know, I love Nintendo so much.
I couldn't wait. I like, the problem is like for most new things, I can't wait. I can't wait till like Christmas to get it anymore. Like, I just have to go get it.
I gotta have it.
You know? Like, you know, I did wait to get the Xbox One X. Like, I had an S for a long time, and then I was like, you know what, I gotta get an X because
PUBG was what that for me, bro.
Yeah.
I playing PUBG on the OG Xbox. I was like,
I forget.
It's tough. It was just tough.
It was Ori and the Blind Forest and Rise of the Tomb Raider being exclusive to Xbox that made me actually get one.
I forget what I got a One X for. I forget what game it was.
I got it for Titanfall.
Oh, Titanfall was so good.
The first one?
I remember streaming that beta like crazy.
I actually played Titanfall on the 360.
It wasn't bad though.
That was a good version of the game, like because like I was at a point where, like, you know, we were Ed and I were still doing the Nintendo. We were doing the Nintendo podcast for a while, and like I was like, well, my focus is on Nintendo. So, and like we weren't big enough to like get free codes or anything, right? And like. I was like, I gotta spend money on this because this is what we're talking about. This is our focus. This is what we're doing. And like the channel that we were doing stuff for at the time, we were doing all kinds of stuff. Like we also had a pretty successful Destiny podcast for a while. And I was like, I gotta focus on Nintendo and I gotta focus on Destiny and I gotta be able to talk about these things. And like, I can't really get an Xbox One right now. So, but I really want to play Titanfall. And I played Titanfall on the 360 and it was a pretty decent version of that game. So I mean, Blue Point, whenever they touch anything, is pretty good. So.
They're not bad, are they?
They're all right. We will say they are.
Well, quickly gonna run down because we got to get the questions.
Yeah.
For me, for Switch, I've been playing Tokyo Mirage Session. Love that game. Just every time I play it, hear the music, get into the fights, it takes my breath away. Yes, I'm here, of course, the subtitles, but I love I just love everything about that game. The animation, the fights, the way they react, it's just like so funny, really good. PlayStation 4, been playing Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. Just like making more progress in that, and that game is really fun, but I wish it had a double jump. It doesn't have one.
It does when you get farther.
They don't need the game, but it's easier than Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, the one that Retro did. Like Retro made like the Dark Soul platformer, with those two Donkey Kong games because your heart is beating and that you don't mess up because you literally got to do that a whole level in one city. Just be like, oh, hopefully you land on it right and everything. But like this one is kind of easy, and it's a really chill, laid back game. So playing that, Xbox One, played Far, Long Sail, beat that. Better than Inside. It's a game where you really don't have to do much reading. It's really just go to the right and solve puzzles. Fantastic score. The music in there, like I literally want to buy the soundtrack. I gotta find out if they got a physical or digital one. I really want to buy it. It's so good, so good, so good. And last but not least, been playing Borderlands 3 on Xbox One. It's Borderlands. It's
Borderlands
I really want to put it back in the box so I can start Control and some other games. Because it's not keeping my interest. It's just like going through the motion. I know I'm close to the end, so I just gotta grind and just get through it, be done with that game, and move on.
So are you still? Here's a question. So are you still in the period where you play games you don't like? That's what it sounds like you're doing with Borderlands. Where I've got to the point where I'm like, if I don't like something, I'm not playing it no more. Like, I'm too old.
No,
my time is too. My time is way too valuable.
I like how he says he's too old when he's probably the youngest one here. How old are you?
27.
Yeah, you are the youngest one here.
No. But you guys miss what I'm saying. Though.
No, I know.
Me being young in age, it means nothing. I'm an old man in my head. Let me tell you, I'm older than all of you. I want to be in. This is past my bedtime. What are you talking about? Told you guys. After this podcast, I'm going to sleep.
I did go to bed at like 9:30 last night. It felt really good.
Yeah, I was waiting for you. I was just like, Corey.
I know. Ed and I were supposed to record some stuff last night just to get ahead on stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and Ed was still at work, and I was like,
bedtime, man.
I was like, you know what? I can't drink another energy drink right now. I can't drink more. I can't drink water.
Energy drinks. Yeah. I can't do it anymore, man. I put A3s. I used to. I'm tangenting, Ed. I know you're gonna beat me up. Don't beat me up, all right?
Ed's the king.
Don't beat me up. It's like, yo, I need to get these questions.
No hugs.
But yeah, I just decided I can't do it anymore. I quit Red Bull like 3 months ago. I'm like, every time I see one, I'm just like, give me that Red Bull, man. Give me that Red Bull. I need it, man. But I was just like, my heart, man. I was like, I can't do this anymore to myself. Yeah. I'm drinking them. I'm like, this don't feel right. This don't feel right. Like, nah, I'm done.
Rockstar Fruit Punch used to do that to me. We don't have it no more at my job, but I do Monster. But I do Monster when I need to. Like, I'll probably get a Monster when I go to work. Yeah, but I like drinking slowly and stuff.
Look at you all.
I just bought a 24 pack today.
It's cheaper that way.
To be fair though, like when I was growing up, I had ADD, and so like caffeine has a reverse effect on me. Yeah. It actually just calms me.
Yeah,
like
nice. You go back to normal. I'm like,
I can drink like 2 of these in a row and then like fall asleep like instantly.
I kind of use it the way people drink decaf coffee at night. Like it's just like
you out. Yeah.
But
we're gonna get to the question corner. We got like some really good questions for the community. We're gonna start with Greg Osterman III. He asked, with Sony taking surveys about remote play on Switch, do you think this will happen for both Xbox and PS? Who do you think this benefits most?
Well, clearly it benefits everybody, but I think it benefits Nintendo quite a bit just to have these other games on the system theoretically, right? Like if you're remote playing, like, because like that's what I used to use my Vita for, right? It was remote playing PlayStation 4, right? I can't tell you how much Destiny I played on my Vita because of this remote play, right? And like that's what I tell Ed all the time, right? Like when we record our Nintendo show, I tell him like, yeah, the reason why I have a lot of third-party games on Switch isn't because it's the best place to play them, but it's because it's convenient for me. Because like if my wife and I are watching TV or like my kids running around, I can't be I can't be playing. I can't be neck deep in God of War while my kid's like coloring on the wall or something, right?
No, exactly. Well, I mean, you could, but
it wouldn't end well for me. Let's put it that way.
It was a thing that I think Xbox was saying something. I think it might have been by Project xCloud or something, or Game Pass, and someone asked, "Are you guys looking into getting Game Pass on Switch?" And Watch Mixer Twitter page was just like, we're always looking for different platforms to be on, and so because everybody really wants like Mixer and Game Pass to be on Switch and stuff like that. So if Sony wants to bring remote play, I think it would benefit both of them to be able to play a catalog. I would say wait till PlayStation 5, because if they're going to have the whole catalog from PlayStation 1 to 5 on that system, it would be cool if people were able to do that. Because once again,
this is remote play though, and this is not like PlayStation Now going on.
Yeah,
there, right?
You would just like download the remote play app. So
it's just going to be an app, and then you're just screen sharing it to a Switch. That's pretty much all it is, right?
Yeah. To be fair,
but I get
the Wi-Fi and the Switch needs to be better. First of all, like it just
that's what I was going to say. Right. It's like, I think it's a great idea. I mean, it would work for Sony. I think it works for everyone. The question is, who's it benefit most? I think it benefits it benefits PlayStation the most, in my opinion, to have it everywhere, to have places to play your game better. Like me, I don't play. My PlayStation hasn't been turned on. Literally, it's not plugged in right now. It's on my floor. Like I have it. It sits there. I wait for an exclusive to come out. I put it in. I play it. It gets turned back off. It doesn't get used.
I think I've turned my PlayStation on twice since we moved, and we moved in November. So
yeah, it's just for me, like, it's weird being around people that are not PlayStation people, because everybody's PlayStation. Whenever you go anywhere, it's like you're the outlier. So I'm welcome here. Thank you for having me.
I don't even own one.
I own it, and the day that I bought my PlayStation, it took me a month and a half to even hook it up, because I was playing Nintendo and Xbox. And just like, oh, I got a PlayStation 4. I need to hook this up and install it.
Yeah,
I think it would work well. It would work well on the Switch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if they put their whole library on PSN, where you could buy the games digitally and do the remote play that way, that's why I say it's beneficial both to Nintendo and for Sony, because I'm just like, Nintendo's gonna get a cut from this.
Well, I mean,
no, because they won't.
Because
it'll just be an store. App.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it won't be. It's just gonna be a free.
It's gonna be an app like YouTube or Hulu on your Switch, right? Like it's just gonna be there, and like you'll just say, oh well, my PlayStation's on. I might as well just launch the remote play app on my Switch.
But I would be surprised if Sony went to Nintendo to get this approval and stuff, because they got to go through Nintendo. You don't think Nintendo's not going to try to make a deal where they get some kind of finance out of this?
Well, but how? From what you're saying, it makes no sense.
I mean, Sony will have to buy like a dev kit. I mean, but that's like the only way you're going to get it. They're going to make money. I mean, I don't think Hulu, like, say you pay like $15.99 for Hulu, like you're not giving Nintendo like 10% of that.
Right. No. But I'm just saying, with Nintendo, Sony, definitely in Japan, their business is different than what we think of it. I just think that Nintendo would at least try to get something out of it. I'm just saying they would try. This is Nintendo, and they care about their products.
I mean, they'll charge Sony to put an app on their store. Like, yeah, I mean, exactly. That's it.
Well, I think they would probably also make you'd have to have the Nintendo online in order to be able to use it at all. So therefore, you're going to have to go through their server. So that's what they would do. So.
Jesse, you remember when everyone slagged off Xbox for all that stuff? Oh, you have to have YouTube. You have to, dude. This again, as we were talking at the beginning of the show, it's a business.
Yeah, it still bothers me when people are like, you need, like, when everybody's like, oh, you need to be connected online to play this, blah blah blah. Like, everybody's Xbox is already online all the time. Like, if you are using it like even half as much as we all use it, like, your Xbox is online. You, like, most people, you're gonna watch your Netflix through it, you're gonna watch Hulu through it, you're gonna watch Disney Plus through it, you're gonna watch YouTube through it. Like, everybody uses their Xbox as their entertainment device, and it's like,
Disney Plus, I wish. Ain't got it yet.
Oh, it's so good. You missing out, man.
Yeah, tell me about it. I've seen Baby Yoda. I know he's around. One day I'll see it.
And when you guys get it, you guys are lucky. Or no, on Netflix, you guys are lucky. You're getting the Studio Ghibli movies on Netflix.
Yeah, cool.
Have you ever seen it? Have you never seen those?
Nope.
Oh, Spirited Away.
Spirited
Away is one of the
you
best.
guys think? You know how much I stream 8 hours a day?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I literally wake up, shower, brush my teeth. You know, like everyone's got their day. I stream for 8 hours. Then I've got a fiance that loves to watch so much crap TV. It's just the worst, honestly.
Same.
It's just the worst.
That's same.
To be fair, at the moment she's watching Love Island, and I'm like, do you know what Love Island is?
Yes, I do.
I don't.
It's the worst show on earth. It's a bunch of pretty people
supposed to come on this island and.
No, that's X on the Beach. They're not couple. Well, they are coupling up. You're right.
Yeah.
It's just, dude, it's the worst.
Okay.
It's the worst. I
So
literally look at her with disgust every time I see
So
her.
it's like Bachelor in Paradise and all that kind of stuff.
No, Bachelor's actually good compared to this show. Honestly,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
That's saying something.
I don't have time anymore.
It's trash. It's trash TV that we love.
I mean, I just like I just stopped paying attention to TV pretty much. And like,
me too.
Look, I want to watch the Witcher show, but like I've made it through 1.5 episodes since
I'll
it's come
watch that.
out, and I'm like, look, I come home because like I still have a regular day job where I go into work at 7:30. I don't get home till 5, and by the time we cook dinner, eat. I spend time with my wife and kid before my kid goes to bed, and then my wife goes to bed shortly after. The time I have without them, I would rather be playing games. I want to play games. I want to record stuff. I want to do the podcast stuff. I want to make sure the website isn't broken in some dumb reason, right? Like I want to make sure everything's in like, that's why it's taken me a month and a half to get through Hellblade, right? It's because like I've been working on the website for 2 weeks. I've been trying to, spend time with my wife and kid. Like today, that's why I was running late today. We went to the library because they were giving away free books, and they had an animal guy there, and it was really fun. But like,
best type of thing, free.
Yeah, but like when I'm not working on stuff, right? Like I'm spending time with my wife. I'd rather not. Like whatever she wants to watch. Like I'm just like, okay, we'll just watch that.
I'm exactly the same, Corey. I'm exactly. It's that point of I've been working all day, or I've been doing something else all day. I want to spend time with you, but I don't have something that we can necessarily do.
Yeah.
So whatever you want. Yeah. Like as much as I might not. Can't be bothered with it, or I think it's crap.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, we go between the two.
Like
it's questionable content.
Like the garbage show that my wife watches that I watch with her sometimes is 90 Day Fiance, where like
I just watched that with my mom literally yesterday. I was like, man, this show's actually pretty decent. I don't mind.
It's
this.
like, oh man, that's like the junk food, and like we have our shows that we watch, like The Good Place, and she watches Will and Grace a lot, so like I'll watch it.
I used to love Will and Grace.
Yeah, so like that's what we do when I'm not working, right?
Yeah,
is that, and like I don't want to take away from that and stuff. So
yeah, I hear you.
But we got to move on. I'm sorry, everybody. We're on the time crunch.
It's like work is in 20 minutes. Let's go.
We'll carry on the show without you, but don't worry.
No, I want to be here too. Do everything.
I'm messing.
I mean, we had to carry the show without him for 3 weeks, so
2 weeks. So, Ashley Davidson asks, "What a great slate of guests you guys have had over the last 3 weeks. I'm really having a lot of fun listening to these new voices. With the topic of a God of War Netflix show and The Witcher being so successful, what franchise do you want to see as a Netflix style series?" So everybody pick 2 games.
Well,
you would like to see.
I mean, to be honest, like the Uncharted movie has been delayed so long, and the big question is like, do we really need games to be movies or TV shows? Like, I mean, like the Castlevania show is doing well from what I've heard. Like people like that and stuff, but like, I don't know. I just feel like movies can be movies and games can be games. Like the last like couple video game movies I watched were like okay at best, right? Like Assassin's Creed, I saw that and it was like,
yeah, I did, Bubble.
I was like, meh, this is a movie that happened, and it's.
I love Resident Evil, and the last Resident Evil film, because I'm a glutton for punishment as well, where I watched the last Resident Evil film, and it is the worst film I think I've ever seen in my life. Generally, I mean that. I mean that, like, and I'm a Resident Evil fan, obviously, and I've watched. I own that film as well. I own all the films because I've got a Resident Evil collection. I just own every film.
You're the reason they keep happening.
And I am, because I went to the cinema to see it. Well, they stopped that, thankfully. It's the worst film I've ever seen. So I'm totally with you, Corey. Where
I was just like, who did the editing to this movie? I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, I literally got lost.
Cut. Dark scene. Cut. Oh, look, there's Ruby Rose. Cut. Dark scene.
It's Mortal Kombat 2 Armageddon style Louis of filmmaking. I'm like, what is this nonsense?
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh, so back to the question. Mine would be the Yakuza will be Yakuza. I would love to see that as a Netflix show. And Star Fox. Jesse.
Skip me for now because I'm trying to think of a second one.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, what?
Gears of War. Get Dave Bautista to play Marcus Phoenix. Get Terry Crews to play Coltrane.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
I mean, give them that script writes itself. The actors cast themselves.
Boom. Like, people sign a film, and I get why they sign a film because big budget, blah blah blah. But imagine like a 10 episode series from Netflix of Gears of War, and with those characters, with those actors. Yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah. I could see that. Like, man, and I know Showtime's doing the Halo show, which the Halo.
Are they?
Well, they're on set.
1 minute it's on, 1 minute it's not.
they're on set and they have a suit, so supposedly, whatever.
It's happening.
But I mean, like, the live action Halo stuff hasn't actually been terrible. The stuff that I've watched, I mean, I didn't watch the Nightfall one. I didn't watch that, and I've heard it's not very good. But the one that they made right before Halo 4 came out, was actually pretty decent. I forget what it's called, man. See, it's not even memorable.
That's my whole. Halo is my hole in my Xbox knowledge, unfortunately.
Man, that's like what Xbox is built on.
Look, Xbox is built on me, mate. What are you talking about? I sold more Xboxes than half these people out here. Let me tell you.
Well, we're gonna move on, and when you guys are ready, Deshaun Malone asks, Fix, I've been listening to you about as long as I've been listening to these fools. What drives you all to keep going for so long, and what do y'all love about creating your shows?
I mean, this is what I love, right? Just sitting around goofing off and talking, and I mean, we have there's really zero structure to this show in particular, right? Like, I think it's just the reason why we've been going so long is because we're all friends and we just have the conversations and go and have fun, and it's just fun, like that's kind of like, if you go in, I'm sure this isn't why you started it, was to make this, you started because Xbox was fun and you wanted a episode or a show that was opposite of PS I Love You to give Xbox fans, and but it's fun, right?
100%.
Like, that's
yeah. Like, look, you don't get into this for the money. Simple. Like, if you want money, you need to go and get a different job. Let me tell you. This is what I try and say to people. It's like, obviously, we see the ninjas and they got 18 million, but it's like, no, they're the outliers. The regular folks that do this on a weekly basis. Not to say he doesn't, but you get what I'm trying to say. Me. I love doing it. Number one. I love connecting with new people. I love having a conversation around games. I like having arguments, not disrespectful arguments, but I disagree with your opinion. This is why, blah, blah, blah. We go back and forth, and that's it. Like,
hey, if we didn't have arguments, I don't think Nintendo Power Block would even exist, right, Ed?
Pretty much, yes.
It's so, for me, it's just a case of, I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not hard to stay motivated, because it is. Like, it's hard when you produce a show. I mean, I'm lucky. My Xbox and me is only once a week, and I've been very fortunate so far that there's always been people listening. Like, don't get me wrong, we don't do crazy numbers, but people listen every week. And I think the hardest part about being a content creator is just seeing numbers and not knowing the people. And this is what I try and stress on my Xbox and me anyway, which is I try to say to people on a regular basis, reach out to me, talk to me. I'm just a regular person that has a regular life just like you, and I want to get to know you. I want to have that emotion with you. And if you enjoy what I do, you go support it. And if you just want to listen, you can listen and wait. And yeah, I mean, it's just about staying motivated and staying true to who you are at the end of the day. That's something that I learned super early on. Just I'm me. I'm dyslexic. I can't read. I'm this. I'm that. Either you're gonna like me or you're not.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah,
It's simple as that.
Kind of how I got into optional opinion. It's just like I was writing blogs, you're talking about things that's not in the video game discussion that we normally talk about. And so it's just like, even though I'm giving my opinion, I always want to give out options. And I never think about numbers. I don't think about who's listening or who's not listening. I just want to put content out there so you guys can have something to really talk about. And if you want to respond to me, yes, respond to me. I love that. But I just like to be like, put stuff out there so that what you normally expect is not there. It's a whole different expectation. And you hear it, you be like, I never thought that way. But I like what he's saying. I might not agree with his opinion, his options or his opinions, but it's good that he went that way. He said that, because me as a regular gamer, I didn't think that way about something. And I try to, and I, like you said, I always do it for fun. I never try to make anybody upset. Don't try to make people feel like they can't have an opinion or feel like they're wrong, because I value everybody's opinion. I love us getting into that conversation and hanging out and literally laughing and just thinking of different ways. And I'm a one-man podcast with that, so, and that's doing all of that work and everything.
Yeah. And
yeah, man.
And Ed, like we had this discussion off air, right? Ed, like Ed's frozen. He might not be hearing me. That's all right. But like the group that we all used to be a part of, Nerds Gone Rogue, was like, when that ended, right? A couple, October-ish now, maybe. Like that was because that was a project I put 4.5 years of my life into, right? It was just like,
yep.
And that ended kind of abruptly, and like that was soul crushing.
It hurts.
It was like I told my wife, like I was like, I can't believe, like it just feels like almost like 4.5 years of my life was like wasted, and like that's where Arsenal X and Nintendo Power Block kind of originated, was that group, right? And like when we like, I was managing like 3 separate projects at the time, was like, I was
plus
managing
your job, plus your wife,
yeah,
plus your child.
I was managing like my personal stuff, right? There goes Ed. Bye, Ed. But I was managing my personal stuff, and I was trying to manage the Nerds Gone Rogue stuff. And then when we kind of at one point in May or June, like we kind of combined Arsenal X and Nintendo Power Block into the NX show, which is now what Boss Rush Podcast is that show. But then like when that ended, it freed up a lot of time, and I was like, well, I want to make sure Boss Rush can be the best it can possibly be. And like, similar to what you are, Fix, like my Xbox and me is bigger than you, right? MC Fixer is your personality, the personality you are, but you use my Xbox and me as the platform, right? And so like I kind of took a couple notes from that, right? And I maybe this is everybody else, I'm not 100% sure, but like, I took Core in HD, and I'm like, okay, Boss Rush Games is going to be that platform, and we're going to have this and this and this and this. Let's make sure Boss Rush is set, right? Okay, Boss Rush Podcast is set. What do we want to do? Oh, fans want Nintendo Power Block to come back, right? Okay, let's start Nintendo Power Block back up. Arsenal, then they're like, well, we want an Xbox podcast. And I'm like, well, there's a few Xbox podcasts, and I actually bring your podcast up a lot, Fix. And like,
oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
And like, but they're like, but we like it when you guys talk about Xbox specifically. Yeah, I'm like,
exactly.
And then Jesse and I, it actually started as a joke on Twitter. One of our fans, Deshaun, he was like, okay, now that Power Block's back, are you guys going to throw up the X? And like, everybody started throwing up the X memes, right?
Yeah,
and then we had a side conversation. We were like, do we really want to bring this back as like a full show? And we were like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it's like, of course, I love Xbox. I missed talking about it. So
yeah. Look, at the end of the day, it's hard to be a content creator. People don't believe it because they think that it's very easy to sit down and talk for however long it is all of the time. It's not.
No,
it's not easy.
It's really not.
It's not easy. It's hard to stay motivated. I say this all the time. Like, if you want a honest opinion about content creation, DM me, and then we're jumping in a Discord call, and I'm going to tell you what it's really like, because it's not what you see on stream where I'm always happy, or on the podcast. But and to be fair, but that's something I've also learned with it all, where I try not to be fake anymore. Not that I was fake as in like a bad fake, but it was more just a case of, when I'm upset, I'm going to say on the podcast from now on, look, I'm going through stuff. This is what's going on in my life, so I might not be as happy as I used to be. Like, you've got to be real at the end of the day. And I feel like more people, as I've started to do that more, and even like my Discord's really big. Like, this, it's not a big place, but it's very big for me personally. Because I go in there, I vent, and then I get it out. Like, I made the biggest sacrifice doing what I've done. I've been doing this for 5 years. Again, as much as I joke I'm old, I'm not that old, but 5 years of your life,
it's a long time,
into a career that I'm saving. My fiance's a teacher and she wants a house. We're gonna be having kids soon, and I'm like, well, I'm nowhere near where I need to be career wise. So I always joke around that I'm gonna end soon enough. I'm gonna have to go back and work in retail again, and I'm gonna have some 20-year-old bossing me around, and that's gonna be crazy.
I'm sorry, Brady. My computer froze on me.
You're all good, man.
Sounds about right.
But yeah, it's that's one of those things where it's gonna be hard. You know what I mean? It's gonna be hard to do that. It's gonna be hard to be honest with your audience like that. But you can do it. Everyone can do it. Like, it's not. You just gotta stay motivated and keep wanting to do it.
Yeah, and like I like after we were forming, trying to come up with Boss Rush and ideas and stuff, and like a lot of stuff that we used to do right for the other group we were a part of. Like we are retooling some of those ideas to come back, because like people like that stuff, right? And like, okay, well, just because we're not part of this group anymore doesn't mean we can't keep doing it. And like, we've been talking about Patreon for a while, right? Like probably for over a year at this point. And we're not expecting to make $1 million off of it, right? But like, I feel like the work that, especially Jesse and Ed and Ray when he's here, right? Like the work that they put into that, I feel like they deserve something, You
want my advice?
What?
My advice is don't do it.
Don't do it?
The biggest mistake I ever did was start a Patreon as early as I did.
Yeah.
Because you only get to launch once.
Right.
And getting people into Patreon is the hardest thing I've ever done. Before I launched my Patreon, so I quit my job. What was I doing at the time? Refurbishing. I had 100. I was doing my Xbox and Me at the time. I had 100 people who I DM'd privately, and like fans of the podcast and just general family members, that sort of thing, like close knit. I had 100 people that told me they were going to support me on Patreon. I launched my Patreon to 5 people, and the problem is, you lose all that momentum because you do your hype video of this is what we're going to be doing. You got your tiers, you got it set up, you get it ready. If you go in with no expectations, maybe it's better. But me, at the time, I was going in with such not high expectations, but my whole business plan was always, if I can get 1,000 people to give me $1 a month, I can do okay. I can. That's not where I need to be end goal, right. But $1,000 a month for me, which would work out about £800. That's what I was earning in McDonald's. So, and I was working and doing a load of crap work that I didn't want to do. It's like, so why would I not do that? I've never made $1,000 on Patreon ever. I've been doing it 5 years. But you make a lot of mistakes, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to discourage you guys at all, but you only get to launch once.
No, so and that's
but like when we were audience that are engaged enough that want to support as well.
I mean, when we were talking about it, we had that other group that we had been doing for 3-4 years, right? And then we started talking about it, and like we wanted to launch one this year, but like I want to make sure that we are all in a good place. We all know what we're doing. We all like if our audience is on board, because like clearly your entire audience is not going to support you there.
Not right? even a fraction of it.
Because like I listen to a bunch of podcasts where I don't support their Patreon, right? Like I like it's only like a small percentage that's going to support you there. But at the same time, it's like, we're not going in with high expectations either, but we want to make sure we have a slate of content where we can we're not over promising, under delivering.
Yep.
What's this bonus stuff we have to do? What's this other thing? Is it worth doing this, and this? And like, you know, we're not doing it today, but you know, it's like it's like you said, it's like another goal that we have, right? Like it's like at some point we will, but it's not today, right? So
no, exactly. It's for me, it's just making sure that you're always in the right position, right? To know your expectations of what you're going to get at the end of the day. Like I say, I started doing on my YouTube channel, started doing these tip videos for streamers, which is just not because I'm big enough to give tips, I don't think so, but I had enough people come in my stream on a regular occurrence and say, Fixer, what do I do? And it's like, okay, well, let me tell you what not to do, because I did this. I was the idiot spamming people's inboxes on Facebook. I was the idiot that was spamming links on Twitter. I was the idiot that called out lurkers. I've done it all. You name any bad mistake that a content creator has made, I've done it because I was desperate. And when you're desperate, stupid decisions. But when you get to the point where you're like, okay, I don't care anymore, in the terms of I don't care what's going to happen. I'm just going to make the content. It's a totally different ballgame. Different ballgame.
Yeah, and to be fair, like, you know, like when it does happen, you know, if we're like, we don't plan on like quitting our jobs or anything.
No,
like,
of course not.
So for us, this is
Nor
just
did I,
basically
Nor did
like,
I. It was more a happenstance thing.
Yeah. I mean, Fix, you're clearly in a different position than we are with your stuff. But like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean,
well, am I? What makes you think that?
I mean, you're way bigger than we are. You know what I mean?
Am I?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
this is what. But this is the truth. Is maybe I am, and don't get me wrong. I'm blinders off, because I'm very much. I don't take the good. All the positive feedback I get.
Yeah.
I don't listen to it because I don't listen to all the negative feedback.
Yeah.
And the problem is you become super unbalanced when you take one or the other.
Right.
If you take all the positive, you're like, well, I'm the best.
Yeah.
If I listen to every person who said to me, you should be on Kinda Funny, you should be, bro, my head would be so goddamn big, it'd be ridiculous. But then if I listen to every person who called me the N-word when they come in my stream, and you're a fat slob and you're this and that, like, I would be also sitting in a corner crying myself to sleep at night. Do you know what I mean? So
that's why I stopped reading.
You really do have to take both.
That's why I stopped reading comments and emails.
Yeah,
it's like,
but it's not even just stop reading the comments and stuff though. It's just the fact of you gotta keep both. Like, remember, neither of them matter. Like, as much as you appreciate them and you love where it is, don't take either of them. They're both as even as each other. So listen to none of them and just keep making great content.
It's the people like Deshaun that send in questions, and you know, and all those people that send in questions.
Why are you not sending me questions?
No, they need those. That's what matters. Like, to 100%. Me, like, that's what I enjoy about doing this show. Is I definitely like, the more questions that we get, the more I'm gonna look forward to doing the show. You know, 100%. like I want you to be a part of this show as a listener, right? You know, because that, like, it's gonna make your listening experience better, and it's gonna make our time and you know, what we're spending our time on, that much better as well. You know, so like. Yeah, like that, to me, that's all that matters, is just like the more people that write in and have questions, the better. So
there's no better feeling than getting a question come through your inbox.
Yeah.
Honestly,
exactly.
I mean, like I say, anytime, I remember, Jesse, you've emailed in plenty of times.
Yeah, because there's times where no one did, and so I'm like, I got to do it.
But I absolutely love it. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, it's a case of, like, when that happens, you're like, oh god, especially when you see a new name pop up, when you see a name you didn't know before, you're like, oh my god, who is this? And then you read out the question, and then they enjoy it because they're getting read out, and you enjoy it because you're getting to answer their question, and it's a whole collaboration. Again, it's a feel good moment, man. I love it. Honestly, it's the best thing I've ever done making content.
Yeah, and it's like it's sorry, Ed, I know you have to go, but I'm just one more thing. Like, I like what you said, Fix, and you know, Jesse, what you said. Like, we have a small but pretty dedicated community for us, right? And like, seeing people email in, like, every week or every other week, like you see the same names and you're like, okay, you get to like kind of know these people. And I've met Deshaun. He actually lives like 5 minutes from me, right? Like he lives like super close. And but like when you do get that new name, you're like, oh man, we have somebody who like cared enough who started listening and like really started paying attention. And like that, like I know like the few times I email into shows and like they've read them, right? Like I'm like, oh man, they read my stuff. That's pretty exciting. So,
dude, I've interviewed Greg Miller twice, right? Greg follows me on Twitter. Anytime Greg says my name on Kind of Funny, I'm still a giddy schoolgirl. Every single time. That's never gonna change. Like anytime my name is mentioned, I'm like, I have the biggest smile on my face. I tell my fiance, I'm like, Greg said my name on the podcast this week, and like, it matters. It matters. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't change matter. I'm no bigger than what you think I am. I'm not that big. I'm really not. It's just the fact of perception is so much. You know how easy it is to seem big? It's so easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to seem big. It's different to be big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry, everybody.
No, good.
Hendrix, would tell that to my computer. Skype. Hendrix Pasternak asks, Gritty Humans, what is one dormant franchise you want to come back? The twist is it has to be in a different genre than it originally was. We answered this question before. So
Need for Speed Underground.
What is it?
Need for Speed Underground, but it's not GTA.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Same thing.
I want a big, huge, perfect dark stealth game.
Oh.
Kind of like in the vein, almost like almost like Metal Gear-y, but maybe more like Splinter Cell. It's my pick.
Okay, I like that.
I want a Saints Row beat 'em up.
Oh, no guns. I like that.
No, just
Only
to beat 'em up with.
Wait, so is it Saints Row but a side-scrolling beat 'em up?
Yeah, like the old traditional. Yep.
That would be really good. Oh.
Yeah.
Now
it's such a great franchise that like is funny and it has like the characters, it has the like it would be a perfect story for that kind of game.
I want that now, man. I seriously want that now.
I want Mario Brothers done in the Space Warriors style game done by Treasure.
There's his treasure mention for the show, guys.
So you have your water gun from Super Mario Sunshine, and you're flying around in a jet, cleaning up.
Okay.
So,
or you're cleaning up the maps after people have played in a game of Splatoon. You have to watch. This is how all that ink gets washed off everything.
Right. Oh, I can see that be the story for that. Last but not least, Sarah Squid asks, with all the issues going on with Mixer at the moment, multiple smaller partners leaving, having their partner contracts terminated for one reason or another, do you think Mixer will be as big of a focus for the UI or the next gen Xbox, or would it be like Connect and slowly phase out? I think we talked a little thing about the streamer stuff like in the beginning, in the sense.
Well,
I mean,
I think it's like the game industry is just filled with ups and downs, and some things last, and some things don't. I personally don't think that Microsoft would be willing to drop this quite yet.
No,
because it's like it's honestly still in its infant stage, to be honest.
A lot of Microsoft business stuff, like service stuff, is growing. So Mixer's just going to grow. Game Pass, that's been growing. Project S Cloud, whenever that gets released, that's going to grow. So a lot of their stuff, Microsoft, I think, got planned for their next gen, and it's just going to continue to grow.
Like I was saying at the start of the show, Justin TV wasn't Twitch. It morphed into that. Mixer's already better than what Justin TV was. I've wanted to move to Mixer for ages. It's just, unfortunately, I'm so reliant upon my Twitch revenue currently that I just can't afford to take that risk. You know what I mean? It can be anywhere between $100 to $200 a month. And at the moment, doing this full time and needing every penny that I get, I have to stay there. But if I didn't need it and I had another job and stuff, I'd move to Mixer in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
But
Phil Spencer, I know you're listening. Pick him up. Pick him up. Give him money. You know.
12 grand a year.
Funny. We have an email in our inbox from Phil S. from.
Phil S. will have to wait till next week.
Get someone on Mixer who actually plays Xbox.
I'm here.
But Jesse, Corey, what you think? What's your thoughts?
I mean, I think Microsoft's still going to push Mixer, right? I don't think it's going to be a thing. I don't think they're going to get rid of it or anything. I think Mixer is they've paid too much money to get Shroud and Ninja on there specifically, and Gothalion
and it's easier than Twitch. I'm sorry, that F2A mess, that authorizing thing. So I was trying to get on it, and they don't have nothing else for me to get on because my F2A is connected to another phone number where I lost that phone number, and I tried to use the app. The app don't recognize it. So all my stuff that I had, and I can't get nothing back.
Oh.
So I switched to Mixer for just all my streaming stuff. So it was just like, I think if Mixer is easier to do than Twitch, it's just like I said, it's just going to grow and it's just going to improve.
I do think the UI and Mixer, especially on the PC side, and even like the chat stuff on your phone is like, I think it's way cleaner than Twitch. But I do.
Interesting.
I also think like it's a user experience too, right? Like if you're used to Twitch, like
That's
where
true.
to go, know how to navigate the menus. I happen to stream on Mixer a lot more than I do Twitch, so like I'm used to using Mixer, So, I have been playing around the idea of just like using Restream to stream to both, just because like it's probably the smart idea if you're not like.
If you're not affiliated, if you're not part, if you're affiliated on Twitch, you can't do it.
Yeah.
But and it's very easy to get affiliated on Twitch.
Yeah.
It's not hard at all. But yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, everybody, that is going to be the show. Thank you, MC Fixer. Go ahead and plug.
You can find me everywhere at MC Fixer. I'm not one of these scrubs that's like Ink Kid 25 over here and Sarah 29 over there. No,
Thanks for
MC
making
Fixer.
Me feel awful.
Yeah, you're an idiot. If you like that, sorry, you've got problems. At MC Fixer everywhere. You can follow me also on my YouTube channels. I've got My Xbox and Me, and obviously MC Fixer, the official channel for me. I'm not used to saying this, but www.myxboxandme.com. Great, we got great reviews over there. We got writers. We're looking for more writers. If you're someone who's looking to get into reviewing Xbox games or writing news or anything, we are on the lookout. It's not a platform for professionals. It's not a platform just for the best people. It's a platform to grow. It's a platform to learn. We do weekly meetings. It's about growing. We're a family. It's like Fast and Furious. We're a family. So go follow me there. Patreon.com/MCFixer. If you got a few bucks, throw them my way. I would appreciate it.
All right, Jesse, where can we find you?
You can find me almost everywhere as Phantom NXS.
Smart.
Including SoundCloud.
Okay. Yeah, you're a SoundCloud rapper? Dope.
I don't rap, but I make music.
Jesse writes all the music for our shows. So.
Yes. Our music producer. Yeah. Corey, where can we find you?
All right, here we go. This is where Fix.
I can't with you, Jesse.
You can find me at CoreyandHD713 on Twitter and Xbox.
Jesus Christ! What's all the what?
I couldn't, dude. Okay, so there's a long story short, Black Ops streamer or YouTuber that stopped tweeting in 2014 and refuses to give up the name Corey and HD.
So change it to it's Corey HD. Oh, it's not hard. I can help you with your branding. You're all good. Don't worry. I got you. I got you.
You can find me on Mixer, Twitch, and Instagram at Corey and HD. You can also find me on Nintendo Power Block and most of the stuff on BossRushGames.com.
Yeah, you go.
You guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode. You can check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast apps. This week, I just released the 4th annual Bunch of Video Game Awards, so do go check that out. And yes, you can find me on Mixer at The Lyrical One. And also check out Boss Rush Podcast on our YouTube channel, and come join us on our Facebook page or at the Boss Boss Rush Gays community page, and follow us at Twitter at boss_rush_gays. I know that is a lot.
I gotta sort you guys out, Brandon. Corey, whatever words. Ed's gonna leave this podcast, and I'm just gonna sit here and talk to Corey about Brandon. Don't worry, guys.
You know what? I will. You know what? My wife and kid just left. I got about an hour and a half. So.
Yes, and then Fixer, when you talk to him, tell him to text me everything that you said.
We'll do. You know, he'll take notes.
With everybody. With that, everybody, we will see you next time on Boss Rush Podcast. Bye, everybody.
Bye.